Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name's Bobby Waldron and I'm here to bring you a step-by-step video build of the Tamiya 1:48 scale Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1. Okay, really nice kit, okay. Kind of cheapish, shall we say, and it really does go together really nice, this kit does. And what the step-by-step video build is going to be is plain and simple. We're going to go from the beginning right to the end. We're going to cover absolutely everything to basically go through all the basics of professional modelling, the foundations of it, you know, go into intermediate, go into advanced, and really get you really kind of all those techniques and learning how to build these models to a professional standard. And that's what the step-by-step videos are all about, okay. So we're going to start off with a inbox review of this kit and actually look at, you know, what's in it and what you get, okay, and then we're going to crack on with the build, okay. But this is episode 1, so this is all nice and free for everyone to see. If you want to go off and you want to see the other, to be honest with you, I don't know how many episodes this one is going to go for. I mean, we're probably talking maybe 8 episodes for this step-by-step video build. So to see like the other, say 7, I think, you're going to need to go to genesismodels.co.uk. There you can subscribe as a member to the website, and you just go through PayPal. It's £3.99 per month, and you'll then get registered on the website, get a username, password, and you'll have access to the video section where not only are you going to be able to see the rest of the episodes for this Spitfire, but there's loads of other step-by-steps, rapid video builds, tutorials, product reviews, inbox reviews, final conclusions to the inbox reviews, you know, all that kind of stuff. We've got a forum, galleries, you know. It's a really nice online place to socialise and just nothing but modelling and learn and, you know, share what you've experienced and to share your knowledge as well if you want to. So let's crack on with this build now and get it on the bench with an inbox review. Okay, here is a nice inbox review of the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1 by Tamiya, and it's in 1:48 scale. It's I've also got some nice photo etch for this as well, so we'll have a look at that too. So just to get started, let's have a look what's in this nice shiny kind of nice box here. Starting off, we got some decals. Now they are your typical Tamiya decals from Japan and everything, and looking at them, they look nicely in registry. You know, they do kind of feel a little bit on the thick side, as you would kind of expect from the Tamiya kind of decals, and they do look a little kind of, shall we say, not much going on in regards to like the stencils, okay. As you can see, there's not much going on there, but you do get this kind of nice little fancy, they're basically, shall we say, decals that kind of prime up your main decals, okay. Because what can happen is these roundels here, where you've got like the white bits, that can be a bit transparent, okay. So you know, you can have like your paint work, your camo work show through transparent like through the white roundel areas, but if you put these white decals on first, they act as like a bit of a primer for the decal to take away that transparency. So these decals, you know, I mean, they're gonna be okay, but they are your typical kind of Japanese style decals, and they can be a bit problematic, but we will work through that and I'll show you how to do them. You also get a nice quick sort of a paint guide, okay, which you have that problem where when a kit manufacturer do their own paints, okay, they will only show you their actual paint colours, okay. So for instance, for our brown areas, okay, they want to go XF52 plus XF64 and a 50-50 mix with them too, okay, which you know, is a bit annoying, because really you want to know what is the actual pot of paint I need to use. So, you know, you might want to, I'm going to do some research and find out what the Tamiya, Vallejo, Guns range, or whatever is the exact colour paint, where you just get to use one pot of paint rather than mixing up pots of paint. So I'll show you that as well. Instructions, now they're going to be pretty simple. You got a nice bit of a write-up, you can have a little read up there. Typical fold-out kind of instructions, okay. Personally I don't like that, but I mean, you know, it's no big deal. And it does look all pretty easy, straightforward, nicely laid out. Doesn't look too complicated, as you can see. You know, it is a pretty nice basic sort of kit, shall we say. And you know, you finish off nicely with a pretty simple set of instructions for the decals, which there's not a lot going on there either. So that's the instructions, I say, pretty damn simple. And then we've got ourselves two bags in here, which I'm just going to open up now. Okay, oh, actually, there's stapled down. Getting out our first sprue, okay, and I'm going to bring you in so we can have a proper good look at this, okay. As you can see, you know, the recessed panel line detail does actually look nice and crisp, okay, and does look quite nicely in scale, so it doesn't look like we're going to have much problems there, and it does look like it's going to be quite detailed as well with the recessed panel line detail, okay. And looking at it, I'm not seeing any sink marks. I mean, we've got, I don't know if you can notice, there's like a little line going through there, or that's kind of like a mold kind of mix thing. You kind of get it on canopies sometimes, and it can ruin the canopies, but you know, it's smooth, there's no problems there. You spray over that and that'll go away, so don't worry about those mold lines, okay. And that's that sprue, pretty nice, quick, simple, easy. Moving along, we've got our second sprue and a final clear plastic sprue. Hold on, sorry, I'll bring you out a sec. Okay, and with this sprue, okay, we've got all our pilot and, you know, the fuselage section, everything. So let's bring you in so we can have a look at, you know, the detail that's going on here as well. Okay, and as you can probably see, you know, the fuselage section does look quite nice, okay. No nasty sink marks, ejector pin marks. Okay, we've got, say, one or two actually in our cockpit area, but they're low down where you're not going to see, and they're quite faint as well, so they're not bad, those ejector pin marks. Moving along to our pilot, okay, our pilot that you get with this, he doesn't look too bad. Looks quite nicely detailed. He's definitely usable, you know, he's a not bad pilot, so that's cool. And then excuse me, instrument panel, okay, it is you know, it's good, you know. I wouldn't say it's bad, I wouldn't say it's brilliant. It's a nice, good instrument panel going there on there, which you can have detailed up quite nicely, okay. But as I say, there is no real kind of problems with this. It seems, I mean, it's supposed to be the best Mark 1 Spitfire you can get, okay. This Tamiya Mark 1 is the best one you can get. I think Hasegawa then comes the best one you can get when it goes the higher marks, okay. But this is apparently the best you can get. And looking at it, you know, they've got some nice detail. It looks nice and easy to put together. I don't know, I think it could be a little bit better, but still, it's on. I say that as in, you know, the detail could be like a little bit better, but it still looks actually really nice, something that you can build up nice and professionally. Just going through as well quickly on the clear parts, which are separately bagged, okay, and looking at this, they do look really nice and shiny and almost ready to go. Maybe a bit of a buff up, you know, and they will look really nice, and there's no problems with them, which is good. Put that back in the bag. Okay, so just to finish this off, okay, is our Photo-Etch set. Okay, so let's have a good look at this and see what we get with this nice bit of aftermarket parts. Okay, we've got some dials going on here. Okay, to bring you in again. Okay, we've got some dials here, okay, which is on, they normally come on a film, but with this one they appear to have come on just a piece of printed out paper. Okay, but you know, we can still work with that. And in here you get one Photo-Etch stencils. Okay, and looking at this stencil, it looks really kind of nice and detailed. Okay, and it's just going to be that nice little extra touch that just brings that cockpit nicely alive. However, I think the cockpit is going to be canopy closed, but still, you know, it's going to look nice. And the same as you always get with like the instructions, okay, I do find, okay, they are they're a little bit on the complicated side, but you do eventually get there. Okay, so just kind of take your time, really examine it, and you should get there with the instructions. Okay, and I think, if I remember, I brought it off eBay for less than £5, this nice little Photo-Etch set. So for less than £5, okay, the Photo-Etch set was actually, you know, pretty good, I think, and definitely recommended. You know what, I forgot how much this kit actually cost, okay, but it's something like about the £20 mark. Okay, so, you know, not mega expensive, but looking at it, you're definitely looking like you're going to get a good quality kit. Okay, an easy kit to put together. I've got a feeling the decals are going to be a little bit of a problem, because you kind of get that with the Japanese ones, I find anyway. But yeah, I think it's definitely recommended, well worth buying, well detailed, nice, easy, simple. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually crack on and get this built as a step-by-step video guide, so we can actually really kind of see how good this kit is. Right then, what I've basically done here is started getting all our cockpit ready to go. All I've done is cut out all the pieces that we're going to need to build our cockpit and start working on our photo etch. But just a quick recap, okay, when removing parts off of the sprue, you don't want to kind of like twist it off like you might have done when you was a kid and stuff, because it leaves nasty marks where the tabs actually hold the piece on. You know, something like a good kind of set of clippers, cutters, or, you know, some good scissors or something, and basically you just want to nicely clip them off. Okay, the next thing as well is you're gonna have a little bit left over, okay, where the tab was, which what you can do is to get a nice neat kind of finish where the tab was, is you can just give it a quick little bit of a sand, okay, and just sand that out nice, quick, easy. Okay, and that was like a medium grit, okay, skinny stick. And then we've got our sponge fine sanding stick here, just to blend that in quite nicely. Okay, that was one way of doing it. We've got another little tab here. I have got used to actually not sanding those tab marks off. I actually like to come along with a blade, okay, where I just nicely cut off, you know, the tab there, okay, and maybe a little scrape across, okay, just to smooth it away, because you can use, you know, a blade to actually kind of sand. Okay, now it's up to you, because some people will say, you know, using the blade isn't as neat. you know, some people might say, you know, using the sanding sticks, okay, you end up sanding away detail and you've got to rescribe and all this kind of stuff, and it takes a bit longer or something like that. But you know what, you know, try both techniques out and you decide, you know, what's, you know, your what you're comfortable with doing. So that was just a quick way, just quickly showing you that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some photo etch, okay? And the one thing is with photo etch is they want you to like remove the detail that is already on the kit in a few places, okay? It will tell you in the instructions where to remove this, and the one of these places right now is going to be, one second, instrument panel here, okay? And we've got to get rid of all these dials and all this stuff on here, okay, so we can come along and put on, you know, our nice photo etch dials. So we've got to get rid of the whole lot of this here and just make it flat. So really there is no kind of like, you know, sort of special technique to this. I mean, just literally come along and cut, chop, you know, just literally really just get rid of as much as you can. No messing about, okay? You know, let's not tickle this, let's just, you know, cut the whole lot and get it all coming off all nicely, okay? We want this all nice and flat, okay? Even this big thick piece of plastic here, which is like quite raised, you know, that's gonna needs to be removed as well. Okay, and then once we've kind of like chopped away kind of like the big pieces, okay, what you want to do then is sort of come along with a bit of a coarse grit sanding stick, okay, and start really kind of sorting out those last kind of raised areas and kind of getting it all nice and flat, so that a photo etch part can just nicely sit on this, okay? Because if you've got any raised areas, okay, when you're putting photo etch down, you know, it's just going to raise the metal photo etch, you know. It's not a decal that can kind of conform or anything, you know, it needs nice flat surfaces. Okay, and we're almost there. There's just a bit going on the top here, maybe a quick blade scrape. Still there. Okay, then we can come in and go for like a medium grit, okay, just to kind of smooth it off. I mean, we haven't got to worry about this being some nice smooth pristine surface, okay, because we're just going to be sticking on a photo etch part on top. Okay, and we're just going to trim up with the blade, just scraping around, just trim up the edges. Okay, so as you could see, I mean, that is now basically all nicely cut flat, made already, because I mean it's going to be this part here that's just going to nicely fit right on top of that. Okay, well, we've got to put our bit of dials on there as well. So that's one thing to kind of remember when doing photo etch, is just to kind of just cut away and get those bits, you know, all nice and sorted and ready for photo etch. Now putting down some photo etch, now I'm just going to do a bit now, and what we've got here is we've just got our little kind of braces here, and I think it's like a armoured plate that needs to go on here, which is part number 20. Okay, so one way of kind of cutting photo etch off of the sprue. Okay, let's bring you in again. Okay, because we're getting quite delicate here with our work. So one thing is to just come along with a blade, and where our little tabs are, we just cut in. Okay, but you want to be careful when you cut in that you don't start bending the metal photo etch a bit. Okay, now we've got a cutting mat. I've got a cutting mat underneath this. Okay, you don't want to be doing this on your nice oak table or something. Okay, nice cutting mat. Okay, that was one way of, say, cutting it off. Another way is something like these nice kind of pointy scissors. Okay, what you could do is, we need piece 12 as well, so what you can do is you just come in and just with the tips of these scissors, you know, you just come in and they do cut quite easily. Okay, and that is probably the neatest way, okay, of getting these photo etch off. Okay, because when you're cutting down, okay, with a blade, okay, you can quite easily, you know, cut into like your actual metal part and you put a bend into it, and once you've got a bend into it, it's a bit of a pain. And you can just kind of just lightly say trim off the tabs just to make sure they're all good. You can use a sanding stick as well, but I like to just come along and quickly with a nice sharp blade just give it a quick, because it doesn't need that much. Okay, so that's kind of cutting off the photo etch. Now right then, we've got our first kind of photo etch piece nicely on our it's kind of like our seat brackets, braces, whatever you want to call it, and then we've got another piece of photo etch that needs to just go in there. Okay, now what types of glue to use? Okay, really there's about 2 types of glue I like to use for putting down our photo etch, okay, and that is your micro crystal clear, okay, and your plain simple super glue. Okay, I like to use super glue kind of when I know I can kind of get it to, when it's something that really needs to be glued down, okay, you need to kind of use super glue, which gives you the best bite and it gets it stuck down, okay, but you can end up making a right mess with the super glue, and you've got to be a bit careful because it can seep out of the sides of, say, the photo etch, and then you get it on your finger because it's all so fiddly, and you end up with like lots of dry bits of super glue. So you've got to be careful, so I try not to use the super glue as much as I can. The crystal clear is a nice kind of PVA glue. It doesn't have as much bite, okay, and you've got to be patient and allow it to dry, okay, and you've got to be careful not to knock it and everything, especially with the really small pieces, because they you know, it can be really tricky to keep it glued down, okay, but if there are any mistakes, you know, you can wipe it away with a cotton wool bud and everything. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off with a micro crystal clear, okay, because this first piece here that's already in there is literally slots in basically by itself, okay. So a little bit of glue just to help it out. We get a cocktail stick, we dip it in just a bit on the end. We can probably come in from the back here, okay, where you're not going to see, okay, so we can be a little bit messy at the back, okay, and that's just to now make sure that piece of photo etch actually stays in where in place where it is. Right, now the next piece of photo etch, okay, let's just bring you in a little bit again, okay. Next bit of photo etch just goes up here, okay. So I'm just going to dab down a little bit of our glue, okay, and then we can come along with our piece of photo etch, okay, and just let it drop into place, okay. Maybe come along with a little bit of blade, okay, and just play around with it, just get it seated right how you want it, okay. And then what you want to do is you want to leave that now, because as I say, this glue doesn't have, shall I say, much bite to it when it first goes down, okay, so you need to leave it a bit to get it to start to, you know, get all kind of you know, sticky and everything, so it actually stays into place. So we want to leave that there, okay, and basically for now, I mean, that is sort of like the basics of kind of getting your photo etch down, is to just cut it off nicely and neatly, and then you want to try and avoid super glue as much as you can, and you want to try and use some sort of PVA glue most of the time, okay, and you just want to be delicate and careful and patient, and don't kind of, you know, if there's any more photo etches around this part, just let these bits dry first so that you can, you know, so it actually gets some bite about it. Now the next thing is, which I may as well do this all in one take, we'll just put these out the way, is our instrument panel. Okay, I'm just going to put down a little bit of kitchen paper towel here, because I'm going to do a quick bit of spraying. Okay, and I'm just going to whack on that. Now what we've got to do here, okay, is we can't just come along, and this is piece 1, which is the actual instrument panel bit. Okay, let's bring you in even more. Okay, here's the instrument panel bit, okay, which has now got to go on to our nice piece here. Okay, we can't just put that straight down because we've got this, it's normally a film but it's just a piece of paper, which is a bit annoying, but basically on here, which I don't know if we can bring you right in so you can see what's on here, you've basically got a bunch of dials. Okay, and what happens is you cut out these dials, okay, which you then stick onto our instruments area, which was our instrument panel area. Okay, so you put that on top of that, okay, and then you come along and you put your instrument panel, your photo etch part, okay, actually on top of our black instrument panel area. And what happens is these holes here will show through our instrument panel bits of detail here, which just kind of enhances the whole thing. Okay, so what we've got to do first is we've got to get some spraying done. So I've put some black nicely in our colour cup here, which is just Vallejo black, and it's neat, no thinners. Okay, and all you want to do is, while it's actually on our photo etch sprue, just whack on the black. Okay, just get it all sprayed through, and you may as well, if you want, just spray up the rest. Okay, may as well give them a bit of a primer. Okay, and while we've got some black in our actual colour cup, we can just spray the black back as well. Right then, so that's all nicely sprayed up black now. Okay, but what we've got to do is we need to come and do a bit of a colour change now. So bit of Vallejo airbrush cleaner, and we can just pour that in there. We can get a quick bit of kitchen paper towel, okay, and what we do, give that a quick spray, and then we tip it upside down. Okay, and let gravity bring out all the nasties, any kind of bits and lumpy bits and flaky bits are going to come out this end. Okay, and then we can have a quick spray through. Okay, and then we just keep pouring in our Vallejo airbrush cleaner, and keep doing that until we've got no black paint coming through at all. Let's give that another cup wipe. Okay, just a little bit more, I think, for that one. Right then. Now, another colour we're going to be using is, I'm going to be using our Camo light green, which is Vallejo 006. And we'll just give that a shake, and we're going to put it in neat into the cup, and this is going to be our green colour for everything else. Okay, so we can pour that in neat as well, just the same as the black. Okay, and what we can then do, oh well, first off, what you're probably going to want to do, okay, is come along and do stuff like come along with some tweezers, okay, holding parts in places that aren't going to be seen. Okay, let's put this out of the way so we don't spray it. Okay, and we can come along and we can spray our seat, okay, the colour we want to get it sprayed. Okay, because we're coming in neat, you know, we're going to have some pretty good coverage. Okay, another way of doing things is I always like to keep some cocktail sticks, plain and simply, with some blue tack on the end. Okay, and we just plain and simply stick that to the back, because I mean this is going to be the back of the instrument panel, which we are just never going to see. Okay, and now we've got our nice kind of instrument panel all sort of ready to be sprayed. Shall we say it's hands-free. Okay, and we can just nicely spray this the colour we need to. Okay, just like so. So I'm going to go off and basically spray the rest. Okay, I mean, actually, we've also got this here, which you might want to actually see. Actually, I've already come along and done a bit of photo etch bits. Okay, just to kind of speed things up. But we can just spray on this now and sort of, you know, get all our cockpit area kind of starting to look green. And hopefully what you'll see is all this nice photo etch kind of comes alive a bit when you actually get some paint on it. So we can spray a coat on, we can cut to air by just pressing down the trigger, not pulling it back, and just quickly dry it off a bit faster. Okay, and when it's looking dry, okay, we can come along and give it another coat. Make sure you get in there on all them angles. Okay, you want to make sure it's got spray everywhere. Okay, that's a little bit too wet, but we'll dry that off. Right then, so that's had a nice, I think that was about 3 coats there just. Okay, and I'm just drying it off now. And as you can see, the photo etch there just kind of livens it up a little bit. Okay, and what's going to liven up that even more is when we get around to doing some weathering. So I'm going to spray all the other bits and bobs green.